The country clubs and the cocktail parties are not real America.
Bernie Sanders has just done something that I've never seen any candidate in any race ever do, and that's launch an Anti-Endorsements page. A page dedicated to listing all the people that are against Bernie Sanders. So this is a page really focused, of course, on the people that have power and wealth that don't want him to become president. So as you see here, this is the Anti-Endorsements page. I ask you to judge me by the enemies I have made. Quote from President Franklin Roosevelt. Now, I'm going to just go through a couple examples here. You can go to the full page. I'll link to it below the video. But just off the bat, I mean, this is what sets Bernie Sanders apart. There is a whole group of people, wealthy, incredibly wealthy, powerful people, that the only candidate they do not like, that they are vocally against, is Bernie Sanders. Now, why is that? It's because Bernie Sanders is the only one, they know he's the only one that truly challenges their wealth and their power. The reason why he's made this anti-endorsements page, obviously, is because these are really endorsements for everybody else. So when you have, as I'm going to go through the list here, when you have these powerful people who have a horrible record in terms of the policies they support and their actions, being vocally against Bernie Sanders, being the only candidate they choose to be vocally against, it shows you that Bernie is the only one you can actually trust when it comes to standing up for the average person. Now, as I said, I'm going to go through a couple here. It's a pretty long list, actually. But here first is Haim Saban. So Haim Saban, a story actually came out today in the Hollywood Reporter with this quote from Haim Saban about, you're going to see. So Democratic mega donor Haim Saban, quote, "We love all 23 candidates," Haim says, then pauses. "No, -1. I profoundly dislike Bernie Sanders." And you can write it. I mean, I don't know if these people understand that they are actually giving Bernie a huge endorsement when they come out vocally against him. I mean, take a look at who Haim Saban is. So he's another Clinton mega donor whose actions do not jive with the party platform. Saban made his money off the backs of his workers. They were paid poorly on Power Rangers and VR troopers, basically minimum wage, no union contract, no residuals. This is why he hates Bernie. Now, I looked a little more into this because I thought, no, come on. The Power Rangers? So a lot of people, that's who they know Haim Saban from, the Power Rangers. But I thought, no, I mean, Power Rangers were huge. They must have been paid properly when that show was on. Nope. I dug a little deeper. I got this quote from Screen Rant, which is actually a company I used to work for, that says, "Amazing as it seems now, the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV show was a non-union production and none of the main cast had agents. As a result, they were given pretty crappy contracts that effectively worked out to little more than minimum wage at the time. The original Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson, told the Power Rangers podcast No Pink Spandex in 2012 that they got paid something like $600 a week. I mean, think back to how massive that show was. The actors on that show got paid $600 a week. So that's one example from the page. And here's another one. Alan Greenspan. I think a lot of you know Alan Greenspan, the former Federal Reserve chairman. This is from Bernie's page. It says, quote, "As chairman of the Federal Reserve, Greenspan advocated for and put in place unprecedented policies to deregulate Wall Street, policies that precipitated the largest taxpayer bailout in history. He supports abolishing the minimum wage, cutting Social Security, and pushed for unfettered free trade agreements that have led to the loss of millions of decent-paying jobs." And Sanders' agenda concerns Alan Greenspan. This is a quote from him. "Remember, the basic problem of inequality is the fact that people are born that way." Now, this is a quote that I had to stop and read multiple times. I'm still trying to figure it out. Remember, the basic problem of inequality is the fact that people are born that way. Now, this, if I'm reading it properly, this should be an endorsement of Bernie's platform. I mean, exactly. People are born into inequality. They are born into families that have no money. Shouldn't I mean, isn't that an argument for Bernie's platform, for higher wages, for universal health care, for getting rid of student debt? So, like a quote like that, it's almost like Alan Greenspan thinks, oh, it's a fact of life. That's just how things are. But no, policies can change that, like the policies that Bernie is presenting. Now, I wanted to bring Alan Greenspan up because there is this fantastic video from 2003. Maybe you've seen it already. It's floated around a lot, but this is Bernie talking to Alan Greenspan during a committee hearing.
Mr. Greenspan, I have long been concerned that you are way out of touch with the needs of the middle class and working families of our country, that you see your major function in your position as the need to represent the wealthy and large corporations. And I must tell you that your testimony today only confirms all of my suspicions. And I urge you, and I mean this seriously, because you're an honest person. I think you just don't know what's going on in the real world. And I would urge you, come with me to Vermont, meet real people. The country clubs and the cocktail parties are not real America. You have defended over the years, among other things, the abolition of the minimum wage, one of your policies, and giving huge tax breaks to billionaires. But today you reached a new low, I think, by suggesting that manufacturing in America doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the product is produced. We lost 2 million manufacturing jobs in the last 2 years alone, 10% of our workforce. Walmart has replaced General Motors as the major employer in America, paying people starvation wages rather than living wages, and all of that does not matter to you. Doesn't matter if it's produced in China where workers are making 30 cents an hour or produced in Vermont where workers can make 20 bucks an hour. It doesn't matter. You have told the American people that you support a trade policy which is selling them out, only working for the CEOs who can take our plants to China, Mexico, and India.
All right. I mean, I love watching that. I love watching old Bernie clips because it shows you this is who the guy is. He's always been this way. He's always cared about the poor and the needy and the middle class. He's always fought back against the powerful. So again, this video was from 2003. I'll link to the full video, the full exchange below my video. And I also want to give just a quick shout out there to the guy in the background behind Bernie Sanders. That's Warren Gunnels. He's Bernie's staff director. He's been a part of Bernie's team for forever, it seems like. So it's just funny to see him reacting to everything Bernie's saying to Alan Greenspan in the background. And also, I'm going to link to the Anti-Endorsements page below this video as well. Read through the anti-endorsements. It's fairly enjoyable. I mean, you could see the people that are just lined up against him. And by the way, just a spoiler alert, they're all old men. Just so happens, a lot of old men with billions of dollars do not like Bernie Sanders. So again, I think this is just these are the most incredible, perfect endorsements to showcase to you that Bernie is the only candidate that is willing to actually challenge the powerful and the concentrated wealth.